is Aishwarya Ajit and welcome to Dove Presents Body and Mind Season 4. Now for all of you who love adventure and adrenaline, if you haven't put your action to plan yet, then Adventure HQ is the place to be. Now don't worry, it's not just for kids and beginners, it is for everyone. So time now for me to experience Adventure HQ and all the thrills and spills. Before I begin my adventure, I'm going to say a quick hello to the manager of Adventure HQ, who also happens to be a climbing expert, Glenn. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
I'm so pumped to be here. You know, I've seen so many pictures of this online. I always thought this was for kids.
No, basically you can use this one as for adults also. We have so many experts in Dubai that even they are doing climbing all over 7 summits all over the world, like Kilimanjaro, Nepal Base Camp, Mount Kinabalu, so many things. So starting in GMAS 1 or Adventure HQ, seems like this is going to be the starter for them.
Oh, fantastic.
To make it happen, their dreams.
I mean, I know that rock climbing is one of your biggest or most popular activities over here, but what are some of the other things that you offer?
So we offer trampoline ninja course.
Ninja course?
Yes, we do. If you remember American Ninja course.
Yeah.
We have also high ropes course and bouldering wall and softly for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, rock climbing is one of your best sellers out here, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen about 4 to 5 different walls with different patterns on that. Is that meant for people with different skill levels?
No, most of the people thinking that this could be easy.
Right.
All right. So basically, you have to climb and up and down, up and down. So most of the time that you have to be confident only. It's not about the level of what we have it here.
Yeah. Very quickly, what's the sort of fitness level one needs to have in order to participate?
Any types of body, if what you can have it. If you are yoga, if you're doing yoga, basketball, or a gym instructor, whatever. So here it's all about you can do it by yourself, by your mind, by your soul, that it's easy for you. It's just a starting point.
It's also a great way to overcome your fears because, I mean, especially if you have fear of heights and stuff, you know, it is something that you can slowly work yourself towards overcoming, I believe. All right, Glenn, I'm very excited to try this out. So I'm going to leave you just for a few minutes because I have a friend who's waiting over there for me, who's here to challenge me today.
Let's make it happen.
All right. All right, guys, on this season of Body and Mind, every fitness segment, we'll have a guest on the show who will challenge me. And today, I'm very excited to introduce you guys to my friend. She also happens to be the co-founder and choreographer of Ripple Effect. Ta-da! And you know what's really good about her is her name. Her name is just beautiful. What is your name? What is your name?
It's Aishwarya.
Yes, her name is also Aishwarya. Aishwarya is 2 Aishwaryas on screen over here. Ash, I'm so excited to see you here. She was also my junior in school, actually. Yeah. So all the more excited because I've never done this before, but I believe you have.
Yeah, I have.
So no pressure over there. So do you think you can beat me at this?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll see. We have a mountain to climb today. No time to waste. Let's get going.
Let's get going.
You know, considering it's my first time, I thought I did pretty well. It is interesting, and it really helps you sort of deal with your fears because the first time I looked at it, although it looked simple as I started, I was like, I can't do this, I'm going to go back down. So it helps you challenge yourself a little bit. And I think it's a great form of building strength and endurance as well.
The technique that I sort of implemented was to take it step by step instead of taking long steps, take short ones. So it sort of accelerates, it speeds you up as well.
When I first saw the high rope obstacle course, I'm thinking to myself, I need somebody else. I need a body double to do this for me. But honestly, once I started, it was quite fun, and I found myself pep talking myself throughout the whole thing, which helped me a lot. And I quite enjoyed it actually. I liked it more than the climbing.
So it started off easy because you have a lot of support in the first one. The second one, you feel a bit wobbly. Then the third one, you had to sort of push the ball aside and maintain stability throughout. So that was also a bit challenging. The orange one, okay, it was a bit easy. Then we came to the dangling ladder. You have to have a lot of core strength and arm strength to go from one log to another. So I think for me, that was quite challenging.
So the one that looked the most daunting is the one with the hanging ball, because you need to move the ball in order to be able to grab onto the next rope so that you can proceed forward. And it was quite tough. But another challenge that really freaked me out was the ladder, the shaking ladder, because I'm very scared of heights. And I mean, for someone who's scared of heights, it was like, how can you make this more challenging? There's a shaking ladder. So from that perspective, I was very hesitant. But honestly, once I started doing it, it was easier than the hanging ball challenge. Yeah, the hanging logs were quite tough. I've always considered myself to be a person with not much of, I mean, my balance isn't great. But then once I started doing it, I realized my balance isn't as bad as I thought it was. So from this whole experience, you really understand that you've got so much mental block. Sometimes you think you cannot do certain things, but unless you try it, you really never know. And today, that's what I realized, that I'm not as bad as I thought I was. Okay, so we've both successfully completed the challenge. How do you feel?
I feel great. My hands are hurting though.
Yeah, my fingers are very sore too. The fun wall was a little bit not fun.
challenging.
And Glenn, we
Right.
need to ask the man himself, how do you think we did?
You guys doing a really good job.
Yeah.
You try your best to reach to the top. However, it's a bit challenge for you guys to trust only the material itself. It was connected to you, how it was been done, but overall, well done to you, ladies.
Yeah, throughout the
Very
entire
done.
process, Glenn kept saying, trust the rope, trust the rope. And I kept saying, I have trust issues.
Awesome.
All right, Glenn, now it's time for the $1 million question.
$1 million.
Which one of us is the winner? Which Aishwarya is the
All
winner?
right, let me tell you this. All right, wall climbing. Aishwarya Ajit, 45 seconds.
Okay.
All right,
My first
Aishwarya
time.
Shiv, 20 seconds.
Wow,
You did a
beat
great
me
job from there.
by a
Well
lot.
done.
Yeah, good job.
And higher scores. Aishwarya Shiv, 5 minutes and 2 seconds.
Okay.
Aishwarya Ajit, 4 minutes and 38.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
smashed
talking
it there.
about.
We
That's what
smashed
I'm
it.
talking about. So,
Well done.
so what's the total?
The total will be,
Yes.
dang, dang, dang.
Who's the winner? Drum roll.
Aishwarya Shiv
Yeah.
is 5 minutes and 22.
Okay.
Aishwarya Ajit is 5 minutes and 23 seconds. It's just
Oh, just by
one second.
1 second.
I lost by 1 second. Wow, congratulations. I'm not going to be a sore loser, although I am quite sore from the entire challenge.
It's a very great experience that you guys trying your best and conquer the fears, although overall it's really good.
We had a great time. And
we had a
Aishwarya,
great
I'm
time.
going
Well
to
done.
invite you back next season, and I'm going to beat you by about 10 seconds. All right?
Yes.
We'll have to wait
Yeah,
for that.
we'll have to wait for that. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thanks, Glenn. Thank
Cool.
you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Hi guys, this is Advik Mahajan and you're watching Body and Mind Season 4. So talking about fitness, I believe in all kind of workouts. I don't, believe in restricting your body to a particular, exercise or a particular segment like only yoga, only gymnasium. And these days while shooting, we have a lot of restrictions on our sets. We don't have gyms available, we don't have the equipments available. So I do skipping, I do On an average in a week, 3 times I do kicks also, and 200 to 250 kicks within a span of 15 minutes. I do martial arts, I do Ranchuk. I'm trained in sword fight also. Every day, even if you give half an hour to your physical activity, that's more than enough. But you should be regular with that. Like, I've met so many people who work out for 3 months and after that they just go berserk with their diets, they go sleepless night. So all these things are very important in keeping a fit mind and a fit body. So guys, think healthy, sleep healthy and stay healthy.
So after my first ever experience at Adventure HQ, I've come to realize that my fear of heights is not quite as heightened as I thought it was. Time now for me to refuel. I'm going to head to break and you guys should come right back. Welcome back to Dove Presents Body and Mind Season 4. Now, throughout the season, we've been to several restaurants and cafes and tried different kinds of healthy eating options. But the best is yet to come, and that's exactly what we're going to offer today. Desserts. Now, who doesn't love a good dessert? What's also interesting about this segment is that we're not at a restaurant or a cafe. We're actually in the home of a holistic health coach and recipe blogger, Tatiana. Hi, Tatiana.
Hello.
So good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
I actually attended one of Tatiana's vegan baking class several months ago. My baking skills are nowhere as close to yours, but I really enjoyed that session. And it's great to be here in your home today. You look fabulous, by the way.
Thank you. You look great as well.
Thank you so much. You're very kind.
You're actually glowing.
Oh, am I? Thank you. Now, Tatiana, let's talk food. Let's talk desserts, because I know that you're a big sweet tooth. What really inspired a sweet tooth like yourself to become a holistic health coach?
Yeah, well, actually, my journey with wellness started about 11 years ago when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition, and celiac, which is an autoimmune illness as well. That means that I'm gluten intolerant, and both are not curable, but they can be managed. So they require sustainable lifestyle changes and management. I decided accordingly to study health coaching and to do a cooking certification to deepen my knowledge as well and to try to inspire others along the way.
It's interesting because when you are affected by something, it makes you more passionate about the cause, and especially for someone like you, it's not really a choice. It's not really something you can stop doing tomorrow because of your health requirements. It's more of a necessity. So how sustainable would you say it is, this sort of a lifestyle?
Well, I try to simplify nutrition and lifestyle rules as much as possible. So I stick to two single and simple principles, which are not eating anything processed and avoiding refined sugar as well. And that's how I create different types of desserts, and I allow myself as well to have some nice treats every day.
Now, speaking of nice treats, I've just had a bite of her cheesecake. It is delicious. I taste mango, vanilla, and a little bit of coconut on the base, because typically with cheesecakes, it's some sort of a biscuit base. What have you used?
Yes, this is actually a cheesecake makeover, let's say. So I used wholesome ingredients. To make the crust, I used organic oats, for example. For the filling, rather than using heavy cream and cream cheese and synthetic ingredients, I used organic coconut cream, fresh mango, and I sweetened it naturally. So I only use coconut sugar or maple syrup to sweeten desserts.
Is that what you recommend over regular refined sugar?
Yes, there are a couple of healthy alternatives. So maple, coconut sugar, dates as well are good options.
It is delicious. I mean, I know that you're all about sugar-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, but it still tastes
gorgeous.
I'm
And it's
glad.
very light as well. I don't feel like I've eaten a big fat cheesecake. Tell me a little bit about these energy bowls. They're so tasty. It's like something I should be eating after gym.
Yes, absolutely. They're the perfect post-workout treat. They're quite particular because they're made of almond pulp. Almond pulp is the residues that stays when you prepare almond milk at home. So in your nut milk bag, all the residues can be used to avoid food waste, and also it's a very handy ingredient. So I mix them with dates, organic dates, and a bit of vanilla protein and chia seeds. And that's it, very simple.
These are usually the sort of ingredients that you would never associate with desserts or something sweet. But it's amazing how you've researched and transformed your daily desserts into such healthy alternatives. Tell me a little bit about this chocolate pie. It's so cute, by the way. It's so adorable. Tell me about this.
This chocolate pie is also a bit particular because it's not what you expect. It has a secret ingredient, which is avocado.
What?
It has a light taste. It's with the chocolate filling, so it doesn't have a very pronounced taste, but because it's mixed with natural cacao beans, but that's what gives it a creamy texture. So rather than using heavy cream and such ingredients, it's natural, wholesome avocado, simply.
I could never taste the avocado on this one. I mean, I taste a lot of dark chocolate, especially if you're a fan of dark chocolate and coconut. I think there's something like this totally works for you. And all these recipes are available on your blog as well, correct?
Correct, yeah. It's called Health and Yum. So all recipes are made of wholesome ingredients, nothing processed. Everything is made from scratch, no sweeteners.
Tatiana, I'm very guilty of going into the supermarket hungry, and when I do that, I end up buying anything and everything, sometimes stuff that I don't really even want. So tell me a little bit about these homemade chocolates. First of all, for homemade chocolates, these look like perfection.
They're quite nutritious, high in protein, and have a low glycemic index as well.
Tatiana, for all those people watching right now who are health conscious, and especially those who are gluten intolerant, this is just music to their ears. Everything that you've just shared with us, it's such valuable information. I myself had no idea. I've learned quite a few things today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having us in your home. I guess if my skin could talk, it would probably tell me to moisturize more, drink more water, and get better rest. So today I've had cheesecake, chocolate pie, and a lot of other chocolate stuff, but I still feel light as a feather. I guess that's the beauty of natural ingredients and using non-processed sugar. So today has been quite a learning curve for me, and you guys stick around because there's more on the other side. Welcome back to Dove Presents Body and Mind Season 4. Now, with all the advancement in the field of space exploration, I'm sure many of us would love to experience zero gravity. But not all of us are lucky enough to go to space. So what if I told you that today you can get a teensy-weensy little slice of that experience without being an astronaut, like UAE's very own Hazal Mansouri, who's been making all the news splash. That's exactly what I'm going to try today at Point Zero Flotation. out of the water, back on land, on the sofa with the business development manager of Point Zero Flotation Dubai, Osama. Hi, Osama.
Hi, Ash. Nice to have you.
First of all, thank you for treating me to this unique experience, which I have never experienced before, needless to say, flotation therapy. You know, initially I didn't know what to expect from it because I'm a bit of a nervous swimmer. So the whole idea of floating didn't quite sound too rosy to me. But before we get into my personal experience with it, tell us a little bit about what is the concept behind Point Zero Flotation?
Absolutely. See, the whole concept started back in the US in the 1950s, and it was involving isolating all of the external stimulation around the body. So what happened is that they introduced large quantities of Epsom salt, and it keeps your body floating on top of the water. Now the temperature of the water is matched to the temperature of the skin, and with no light, no smell, no gravity, because you're floating on the water, your brain starts developing a theta state brainwave, which is kind of like what you experience while you go into your sleep. So for those of us who have never floated before, they are not comfortable being in the water, we tell them trust the water because it's very salty, it'll just keep you floating. And then within 15 minutes, you're absorbing magnesium sulfate. So that brings you into more of a relaxing state of mind.
Tell me a little bit about the salt that they use. What are the benefits of this magnesium salt?
See, this is a pharmaceutical grade Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is known to actually reduce this level of cortisol in the blood. This is the stress hormone that keeps your body very stressed, gives you the tension. It also reduces lactic acid, which is the pain experienced in the muscles after having a very strong workout session. Also good for a lot of other things, regulating insulin absorption in the body, blah, plus, plus. Sulfates are good for your joint health, brain health, improving the elasticity of the arteries. So we give you a very good, like a rejuvenation boost, where you go in for 60 minutes to 90 minutes, you absorb magnesium sulfate, and it brings your body to balance. While your brain is in theta state wave, you're kind of like sleeping, and your body is absorbing all of this good nutrients. It brings your system to balance, and that's why you come out feeling very refreshed.
You mentioned not just the physical, but the emotional aspect as well, especially for people with a very high stress lifestyle. I know that it is quite popular amongst elite athletes, professional sports players across the world, and even regular people like me. Would you say that everyone gets a different experience out of this depending on their personal fitness level?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, flotation is ideal and is perfect for fitness professionals, for moms, for dads, for busy executives, just for somebody who's trying to find a balance. Now, if you're not used to being in an environment where you're meditating, where you're not used to being in a recovery state of mind because you know there's high demand on your lifestyle, flotation is a new thing for you. But for those of us who've tried other types of therapies, yes, it's very easy for me to come into flotation and have the mindset that I want to experience a rejuvenating experience.
You mentioned a few things earlier during our chat, at least for someone who's doing this for the first time. It took me a couple of minutes to sort of trust the water a little bit, because like I mentioned earlier, I'm a bit of a nervous swimmer, and the thought of having my entire face underwater freaked me out a little bit, and you gave me a good tip to keep my chin up, because that automatically helps the flotation process a lot easier. And from an emotional angle, I think my personal experience with this was that because you're completely shut out from everything, you know, any kind of distraction, you don't have your phone, you don't have people around, no music, no sound, nothing. It's just you, the water, the salt, and the silence. And it does take you on to a bit of an emotional trip, doesn't it? I found myself going into a few dark places that I didn't want to visit. So I was immediately trying to think of the holiday I'm going on next week. So I was trying to sort of manage my emotions a little bit. It was quite an emotional experience.
That happens actually. We experience that with a lot of our clients. We call it emotional dumping. So what happens is that when you're isolated from all of these distractions and you're entering into a clear state of mind where your brain is more balanced and you're more focused, a lot of these emotions start coming to surface. And we have experienced some of our patients coming in having emotional breakdowns inside of the flotation because of the intensity of the emotion.
Osama, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here. I cannot wait to come back and perhaps do a longer session next time. You said once every 10 days is good for you?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Very nice having you, Ash.
Above anything else, my experience today at Point Zero Flotation was quite an emotional oscillation because it was just me, myself, and I with no distractions, lost in my thoughts, floating on the water. It was nirvana, to say the least. Now, if you guys enjoyed this episode, don't be upset because we will be back with more same time next week on Dove Presents Body and Mind Season 4, so make sure you tune in.